So we're back with another video. It's been a little bit. I haven't been around, but I'm glad I'm back here. And there's a lot of things going on out there in the political world. Ooh, a lot of craziness. Welcome back to another video of a Republican's point of view on politics. So, Zelensky, let's get that name right. Zelensky comes to the White House and starts disrespecting the Oval Office. Well, you couldn't expect anything more from this guy. This guy's been disrespecting America since day one. And even that guy that asked him, why doesn't he have a suit? I mean, even any of us knows that there's proper attire for certain things, But then again, every time he came to Washington, he did the same thing. He always came down there with army fatigues and all kind of crap, And I cannot believe people like Adam Schiff are out there talking about, oh man, it's our president that's disrespectful, but it ain't Zelensky talking all that craziness. But then again, that's where all their money's coming from, right? So they're definitely going to stand up. I mean, most Democrats too talk. There was another video I saw, and one of the captions was, the majority of America, apologize to Zelensky. Really? The majority of America? I'm telling you, people just make things up as they go along. The Democrats and the liberals are not the majority of the United States. If it was the United States, it'd be done already. But they are not, and they keep claiming that, even though the media seems to hype them up to make them think like they are more than what they are, but they're not. Just like any other rally or whatever, that the cameras were always set up to make it look like there was millions of people out there. And then when you get other views, other point of views of cameras, you notice that there's maybe a few thousand, and that's the end of that. But, this whole thing going on with Washington, and things like this, like Zelensky coming here and disrespecting the hell out of all Americans that have bailed his punk ass out of a lot of trouble, and his definite end if it weren't for America, even though we were never in agreement with America giving that country that kind of money. So now you got the EU and them and all those other people talking about, we'll give you the money, this and that. Let me tell you something. The majority of these governments that have been bought out by the globalists and the elitists are hell-bent on a World War III, because the war machine is where the money's at for them, Death is, their main interest. And that is how they continue on with this depopulating the world and everything else. So they're working on it, all the time, on and on and on. Now, in Washington, now we have Pam Bondi telling the FBI that she wants the rest of everything to do with Epstein's, and they're trying to say no and this and that. Let me tell you something. This just shows us, the people, how corrupt the United States government had become and how massive it has become with this corruption. And as we see also when it comes to allies, what we supposedly call allies, right, in this world. But if you really think about it, how is it that we're only allies when we're able to give and give to these other countries? As long as we're giving them money, we're friends, right? But the minute America stands up for itself and says, that's the end of it, we're not giving you any more money, we're nobodies, we're hated and everything else. Well, that's just the way it goes, right? They just want to use us for everything else, which makes a stronger case for Trump's point of view and us as a conservative party, that, we have been just giving away American tax dollars for no reasons to people that just hate us around the world, because they do. And we know this, it's not just what they say, but what they do. And we see it happen all the time. And we're hated all around the world, even though we've been the most generous country in the world. So now you have the WHO struggling, talking about, if you take this money, we're going to have to close down labs and everything else. There's one thing that I'm not 100% sure about this point I'm going to make, but I'm pretty sure that I am. But in the government system, we only have about 3 or 4, no more than 5 agencies that were actually voted on through Congress to exist. For example, places like the ATF and all these other offices, and yeah, USAID and all these things. These things were all made on their own without Congress. So basically, these institutions have been brought up and pretty much been in existence and everything for decades, and no one's ever voted for these agencies to exist. But I seen a video which pretty much sums it all up. We pretty much do have a government inside of our government fighting against our normal federal government, besides the ones that have already sold out. But you have all these agencies that are fighting against the United States government. So basically, if they were to crush and end all these agencies that have nothing to do with Congress, that did not put these people or instill them or in any way, shape, or form, and these people have just existed. So who's the other inside government in our country? The globalists and the elitists. There is no other body. There is no one else. They're the ones that are doing it. And you know what the crazy part is? These people have funneled our taxpayer money to build this other government because they ain't using their money. Oh no. Billionaires and trillionaires don't use their money. They use our tax dollar for that. But I think it's all going to come to a head soon. It definitely is. Some things, like these agencies that shouldn't exist, because this is the reason why, the corruption that's going on in our country, and around the world because of that, and the people that are actually, these agencies that are actually funneling money from the taxpayers to support and to build this elitist globalist government inside of the United States. Right? So now basically most Americans know these things by through common sense and stuff like that. You know what blows my mind? And something that's like huge to me right now? It's like just the thought that there are literally people out there, even in our government, and walking around talking about that they're upset that the government and this whole Doge thing and everything, they're pissed that these people are out here trying to figure out where all this money that has been stolen from them and us is going, and where it went, and where is it hidden. And there's actually Americans out here, right, hell-bent and mad about that. They don't like that. They don't like or want that kind of thing to happen. Now, when have you ever noticed a normal person, right, that is not out of their mind, willing to just give away their money to someone else or someone that doesn't even deserve it, or for the worst causes in the world? And these people are out here like, this is crazy. They shouldn't do that, And then you got the Democratic leaders of this country, supposedly leaders, right? And they're out here inciting riots and telling people to hit the streets and all this other crap. But guess what? I haven't seen one video of those get taken down from any of these other social media platforms. I don't see nothing on the social media platforms criticizing and saying that they're liars and that they're no good. And they're okay. But God forbid if you were to say something, anything close to inciting a riot like they do, banned, cut, right away, you're gone. But like I said, this is all just, ridiculous, insane insanity that's going on in our country with all these other social media platforms that are not part of the American way of life. the communist uh, socialist apps that protect and want communism in our United States, and the same people that, because of them, millions of people died, and all kind of things because of the misinformation and the censoring and everything else, right? And we're still alive with it and still strong with it. Still the lies are coming out back and forth, and this whole thing, it just goes to show you, you know, the Americans, even if we were in agreement with us funding that kind of war in Ukraine, once that Zelensky came out here and the way he disrespected the Oval Office, the president and the vice president, over talking them and everything else, and this guy, you would have thought to yourself, that's it. This guy's getting nothing from us, You know what it is, how ballsy it is for you to come into someone's house and demand what you want in their house? Can you imagine that? This is what I want. This is the kind of money I want. Dude, who the hell are you? Who are you to come over here talking in that way, or talking in any kind of entitled way that you are old, or you feel that I don't got to give you shit. I don't got to go. Nobody here in America got to give you anything, and nobody's going to give you anything. You're on your own. You want to be a tough guy? You ain't going to make that war. And not just because I heard President Trump say it, but because I know. I know that that country's not that kind of rich where they can hold on to having that kind of war for so long before they get crushed. So you know what? Let's see what's going to happen here and how this is going to play out. Let's just find out. So right away, all the criminals in Washington, and you could always tell the ones that are criminals because they're all defending the evildoers and the money launderers. All of those guys are being defended right away by the criminals in Washington. Why? Because their bank accounts were being, funded by this whole thing, this whole criminal enterprise of crime. Let me tell you something. Pam Bondi, you asked for those papers and the FBI didn't give them to you. I don't know what you're doing, but you know what? Bring in the military, raid the FBI office, and arrest every asshole over there that thinks he's above the law. Without hesitation. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. None of that. You don't want to listen? Not a problem. And let me tell you something else. Like I said before, start the prosecutions. Why can't people just understand that? I don't know what the fear is. I don't know what the whatever it is, get over it. Start the prosecution of the corrupt. If you do not start this soon, you're not going to achieve what the Trump administration wants to achieve. The only way to achieve it is to make people liable for what they've done. Accountability. If you don't have that, you're wasting your time. So do you think, and I think about it, like I said, you start raiding those buildings and start taking those people and arrest them, and we'll see about that. And we'll see if they won't give you what you want then. But either way, just keep in mind that, these are some really interesting times, to say the least, that we're living in today in America. It's an amazing time. It's a big change. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something else before I forget. Zelensky in there said that we're looking at pretty oceans, or whatever he said. But in other words, what he said was, but it ain't going to be like that for long. Now, what was Zelensky saying with that? Was he saying that he knows something? He let the cat out the bag? That something big is going to happen soon? And that America's going to feel the wrath of that? Is that what he's saying? Is he threatening the United States with what he knows about what's going to happen? Listen, we are not, in my opinion, we are not at war with other countries. We are at war with the globalist. But people keep on and on and on arguing and debating, with the EU and this, that, and all the other. Dude, There are people that are being bought by the globalist. Recognize the enemy. If you don't know who the enemy is, you're not going to end this war. How are you going to be fighting a war with the wrong people all the time? Why can't you understand that they're the ones? I don't understand. And all these things, like for example, look at Soros. Soros constantly, you see the articles and this and that Soros did this, that Soros influenced this, that Soros paid for this, and Soros incited this. Why isn't the dude arrested already? I'm having a real hard time with the government over this. Dude, man, you know what? We as Americans are tired. We are so tired, and we're tired because none of these people get prosecuted. I don't really care. Listen, from the judges all the way down, start arresting these people already. You're wasting your time. They're not going to line up. They're not going to get in line. They're not going to stop their crap until you start prosecuting and charging these people and prosecuting them with the crimes. You know what the crimes are. We know that. Most of us know, like I said. Everyone's still wondering why Hillary's walking around free. Still nobody gives that answer. And everybody in America and around the world knows the woman's guilty of sin. See, this is the problem. You embolden them by not doing anything about it. You know, somebody breaks in your house. You don't do nothing about it. You don't put no security cameras up. You don't do anything, nothing like that. They're going to break in again and on and on and on. It's never going to end. You have to do something about these situations. This is the biggest problem America has. This is the biggest threat to the United States, the globalist, corporate, and the elite. Do you not understand that? How hard is it for people to understand? Why the fear? Why? If you crush your enemy, there's no fear of anything. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Nothing. They ain't going to do anything. They're just people like everybody else. So anyway, we're going to get that out of the way. But we definitely are living in some interesting times. There's a lot of crazy things going on out there, you know. And it's funny because the liberals, real quick, of course, they're just parrots mimicking everything the news tells them to say and all that, and whatever the elitists and globalists that own them tell them to say. But, you know, you get these people, oh my God, Elon Musk got my social security number. And the majority of those people all belong to PayPal with their social security numbers. So you just know that it's all bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just something to talk about, something negative to say, you know. I just think it's incredible that we live in a time where people actually want to be tortured, where people actually want to be imprisoned by a group of people. It's amazing to me that some people actually want their money taken from them that they work for. How about that? This is the world we're living in. And then these generations say, oh, you people don't understand. Shit. Everybody around the world don't want their money stolen. Nobody wants to live like that. And the ones that are in these countries, like communist countries that are crossing frozen lands and risking their lives, shark-infested waters, all this shit to risk their life, leaving a country that has the mentality of the liberals in America. Picture that, right? Imagine that. So, you know, this is all come down to, you know, I believe that it is very important that, you know, this whole thing gets started. You know, I think that they truly need to get these offices raided, and I believe that a higher power like the military and military tribunals should begin right away. And I think that the game will be over pretty fast, if you ask me. You know, but that's pretty much what I wanted to say today. It's been a while since I've been around, but, you know, we the American people right now, we are climbing. We are climbing big time. And I'm very happy about that, and I'm glad, you know. I'm glad that America's back. I'm glad that America is standing up for itself again, and we have pushed aside all the ignorance, and we just ignore it, and we don't even care anymore, you know. We just totally ignore it. We have no time for that. We got real world problems, real issues in our country, and we are not easily distracted by ignorance, stupidity, and dumb shit. We're just not into that, you know. So while people are lining up wondering what bathrooms to use, I'm more concerned about World War III because of the bullshit that's going on over there with Russia and Ukraine. You know, I'm more worried about the corruption in our government, that it's obvious now that everybody knows you got to be one dumb special person living under a rock not to see this, you know. And I'm more concerned about our law enforcement agencies like FBI and things like that that are corrupt so bad that they won't even follow the orders of their own chain of command. So then my question to the FBI is this: and who's your boss? If it ain't Pam Bondi and if it ain't the President of the United States, could it possibly be those globalists? Ooh. Could it possibly be the inside government that you guys are running inside of our United States? Ooh, maybe. Maybe, let me guess. Conspiracy theory. Yeah, right. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think that's the only way to solve this problem. You know what I mean? You can't fix this problem just talking. You know, we have a lot of problems, but this is the number one problem of the United States, is the corruption in government and law enforcement and things like that. And we need to correct that, to a point that I even read an article, and it said that the CIA, if President Trump goes ahead with what he's going to do and things like that, that they would start leaking national things that can hurt our national security. Can you imagine? You know what? Let me put it to you like this: the people in the people. I'm going to speak to these corrupt criminals, right? Do they have any idea and understand that the globalists and the elitists hate the shit out of all of you just as much as they hate us? They're just using you and your ignorance so that they can achieve the power and the corruption that they want. But even you are going to face the music with them. You know why? You know why? Because these ass clowns really believe themselves to be something special on earth and that they're pure bloods. You know, it's like a movie. The ignorance is massive. You know what I mean? These antichrists are just nothing but a bunch of idiots. They ain't nobody. They ain't shit. You know what I mean? Their devil ain't shit and they ain't shit. Neither one of them. Both of them are going to get their asses kicked. You know what I mean? Even the devil too got his ass thrown out of heaven still with the bullshit and going to hell too. And so will they. And there's nothing they can do about it. But hey, let's just roll out the film and let's see what happens. But, you know, in truth, that's all there is, you know. So like, it's just like the cops in the UK, how the cops in the UK are out there, like, you know, going against their own country and their own countrymen to serve who? What master are you serving? The Antichrist, the globalists? What, you think you're going to get special treatment for them? You're not going to get shit. You're nobodies. You know what they call you, the globalists? And even militaries and everything? The globalists call you their dogs. You ain't shit to them. But here you are. Oh, it's just the orders. Oh, it's just my job. Oh, there's plenty of other jobs that you can do. But helping a bunch of satanical perversions, perverted pedophiles, helping those lords on earth is not a job. Like, I don't think they could pay me enough money for that shit. That shit is just stupid. I watched those UK cops arresting some old lady with a sign. How pathetic of a person you can be to do some shit like that. You're an idiot. And the whole government over there is a bunch of idiots. Talking about we're going to arrest and we're going to prosecute and work. Man, listen, you keep your ass over there on that side of the pond and the hell with you. And let me tell you something else. When that Europe goes to shit, and you get destroyed, don't you even think about coming over here to this America looking for help. Hell no. Deal with your shit. You wanted it so bad. You wanted to push that shit that way. The government, I'm speaking to you, the government, not the people, because I know a lot of the people don't want this shit. But they strap their mouths and they can't even speak anymore. Well, there you go. But either way, it's a lost cause on both sides of the track for you clowns, for the globalists, for the elitists, and for the ass lickers that kiss their ass for $2. You know what I mean? So, hopefully, like I said, I hope that the pushing the issue with the charges against the corrupt, and like I said, whether we got to bring out the gallows again or do what we got to do, man, that's it. Treason, you're guilty of treason, boom, gallows with them. Don't play games with these people. Don't play games with these people anymore. None. Not even one game with them. Don't play anything with them. Why? Why would you want to play with people like this? They're not playing with you. They haven't been playing with America. Look what they've done to this country. Look at all the dead Americans over these old drugs and all this other bullshit. You know what I mean? All of it. COVID, all kind of shit. Everything that they do, everything. They do it all. They do it all. Our food contaminated, big pharma, this, that, diseases, blah, 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 blah. All these sicknesses, one after the other, one after the other. Who do you think is doing that? Nature? Nature ain't doing that shit. It's them. It's them. You don't need a PhD to have common sense, you idiots. Well, 97% of the 97% of the scientists that belong to them. 97% of the scientists that are in their pocket. But the other doctors, they'll tell you straight out the bullshit that's been going on with the medical, what's going on with our food supplies, what's going on with everything else. Look, I seen a video the other day. There was an American lady in Mexico, eggs everywhere, $2, $3, even organics, $3, $4 for, I don't know, 36 eggs, this and that. But only in America there's an egg shortage. Come on, man. Come on. It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit. So our neighboring country right next to us has all these eggs, has no bird flu, but America does. So the corrupt government that wants to control the food supply, right? Because that's what this game is. I mean, anybody with common sense knows that. Nope. Kill millions of chickens in America because, eggs are bad for you and this and this and that. Dude, come on, man. It's just pathetic. It really is. It's just a pathetic thing. And I would say that if I, as a private citizen or anyone else, were to contaminate something, a drinking water, or put something into the air that can hurt people and all that, right away you would be arrested, prosecuted, and buried under a prison. But for whatever reason, these people do not. Whatever that reason is, I would love to know what that reason is. I would love to know. But we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, things are definitely getting better, and but I would imagine that Zelensky guy, he is definitely influenced by a power outside. Oh, yeah. He ain't there talking shit like that by himself. He's being pushed and influenced by the inner government, the other government. You know what I mean? They're pushing that, So if you don't want competition, eliminate, if you don't want to be pushed on, eliminate the competition. So what do? Why don't we just eliminate the government that's inside of our government? Eliminate that. And then the problem goes away. Get rid of the globalists. Arrest all the bastards. So what? Who cares? Nobody cares. Just arrest them all. You guys know that these dudes are doing these things. Arrest them. And when there's nobody that's going to pay the corrupt, the corruption ends. Because the money ends. But if you don't stop the money flow, you ain't going to stop this. And they're the ones doing it, with their inner governments and all this other bullshit, But either way, keep an eye on the ball, Patriots. Things are what they are, but we will continue and God give us strength to get through whatever we have to do. God bless America. God bless you. And we're really looking forward to it, to a better world, to a better tomorrow. God bless you guys. To my next video. Like and subscribe. Help a brother out. Take care. Bye.